you guys. How are you all? Thank you guys for being here. Hey, Maria. Hey, headphones. Oh, thank you. Hey, Mars. Hey, Nadie. Skittles. Hey, Eddie. Hey, VizG. Hey, Brooke. Thank you for being here. Hey, Mark Klein, Marina Girl, Wilby. Let me turn off that music. There we go. I'm excited to be here. I love hanging out with you guys and talking about this stuff. Hey, Chitty Chatty Meg. Hey, Peaky. Let's see. Jenna. I just can't get going today. I was the same way this morning. I had a lot of nausea. Look, McGizzy's feeling that way too. Hey, McGizzy. Hey, Alyssa. Hey, Larry. And I just was not with it either until I finally got myself together a couple hours ago, but I really didn't get up and move until 10 o'clock. And even then I just, Hey, breadcrumbs or hello. Hey, Trap Media. Hey, Seven of Us. Joe Hart. Hello. How are you? Hey, RJ. So we're going to talk about a lot of stuff today. We have Bryan Kohberger stuff to talk about with the Sheath and the craziness around that, which I'm really looking forward to hear what you guys think about that. Also, I want to talk about Lori Vallow. Now, she has me downright angry. I'll be honest, angry. And we're going to look at some of that and then some other things too. So just kind of see how it goes and hang out. I had so much fun on Real Talk last night with TT, but I have something really excited planned that is just coming together. I think you guys are really going to love. It's going to be really fun. So, all right, let me go ahead and pull up this Lori. Oh my gosh. When I saw this yesterday, y'all, I'm telling you, I was angry. I'm still angry about it. I cannot believe the nerve of Lori Vallow, Daybell. Hey, Amanda. Hey, Tony. So we know her trial's about to start April 3rd. And let me show you.
Her own children, Tylee Ryan and JJ Vallow, and her current husband's late wife, Tammy Daybell, was in court this morning ahead of her upcoming trial in Ada County. This is the Lori Vallow case. On the agenda, who is and isn't considered a victim in the case. News Channel 7's Shira Matsuzawa was in court this morning for that hearing. So, Shira, what can you...
So they had a hearing yesterday to determine who would be considered victims and, who would be allowed in the courtroom. Let me
tell us that happened today.
Well, Doug, this was Lori Vallow's first appearance in an Ada County courtroom, and it comes just less than a week before her murder trial is scheduled to start. Now, the court today took up the issue of attendance when it comes to allowing victims who are also testifying witnesses in the courtroom. Now, they then discussed who is considered a victim under state code. The reason being is because victims can be present in the courtroom, but testifying witnesses cannot. But sometimes they can be both. Both sides agreed Colby Ryan, the brother of JJ and Tylee, is considered a victim. But at issue was if Kay and Larry Woodcock, the grandparents of JJ, are also considered victims. The state says yes, since they have been there since
Kay and Larry Woodcock are JJ's grandparents. They have been in JJ's life from day one. And the reason that they allowed, Lori and Charles to take him is because they're younger. They had young kids. It was a better fit for JJ, they believed. They were trying to do what was best. But it was always an agreement that they would remain his grandparents and in his life. So this is just absolutely disgusting. Maria, I feel sorry for Colby too, especially because Ashley Banfield did a video last night on this. And she's like, they are their only family members left. No, that's not true. They have Colby, and Colby has his kids now and stuff. And yeah, I didn't like that. And Kay's daughter is actually on YouTube. I'm going to show you guys a post from her in a second, but she is gross. Hey, Amber. There's another comment that I wanted to, oh yeah, Crime Curious. Hey there. So you guys, if you have not, let me grab your link, Crime Curious, because if you're following the Letitia Stout trial, and you probably have already heard about this channel, but just in case you haven't, Crime Curious is going to be going in person. And she's been doing really great lives on it. And yeah, I just want to share this link really quickly, and then we'll get right back to it. So you guys go subscribe over there, so we can watch what happens, which I'm excited. Maybe one day you can come on here and talk to us about court and stuff. I would love that. She still might be free if Kay hadn't loved JJ so much. Not a victim. That's crazy. Crazier than the defendant. Oh, I know. It's absolutely bullshit. I'm really sick and tired of seeing, whether it's from these horrific YouTube creators who treat the victims of these crimes like crap and exploit them, or, it's no better from Lori. Hey, Roz. Crime Curious, that's the link I shared, I think, is your one for tonight. Hey, Chris. Okay.
JJ's birth and have been deemed the grandparents of JJ. The defense, however, said, quote, Kay Woodcock is not a grandma. That's a name she gave herself. Her son terminated parental rights. She's now a grandma. She's not a grandma, rather, and she is an aunt, a sister to Charles Vallow. Now, Judge Stephen Boyce says he will issue a ruling at a date. The state and the defense also have until Friday at 5 o'clock to submit.
Okay, so now we're going to go look at, just a second, let me show you this channel called Difficult Research. Actually, I think I shared a post from her yesterday. She shared this. Okay. This is proof that Kay Vallow Woodcock is JJ Vallow's only blood-related grandmother. Larry Woodcock is JJ's grandfather. And Krisha K. Easton, a.k.a. Difficult Research, her, is his only biological aunt. My brother, Todd, is JJ's only biological father. Lori Vallow Daybell cannot and will not take this away from my family, too. And then, hold on, my laptop's not plugged in. I shared it and I said, say it louder for the ones in the back. Although I think we all know Kay and Larry are victims because JJ is their grandson. Lori Vallow, shame on you. You low down, dirty ass hussy, because that's what she is. Hold on. I'm crawling around in the floor. Well, my little desk I usually set my computer on is not in here now, so I have to set it on a chair. Oh, you've been watching her. Awesome, Jenna. I feel so sorry for them, too. Oh, thank you, Okie Crime News. Okay. Hey, PJ. Okay, just one sec. Let's see. Let's watch a minute of this. I actually didn't watch it. I just shared her video. We won't watch it all, but I would like to, just for a second. Thank you. Okay.
Love you from my heart.
Oh, my God almighty.
Thank you.
Oh, my. Okay, we're going to go back and rewatch him say that. I had a feeling it would be this. I didn't, like I said, I didn't watch it. Hey, Jaded. Hey, Gina. I don't know who the F she thinks she is. Seriously, she's batshit crazy. This is JJ as a baby. Still forcing that call Ms. Daybell stuff on people in the courtroom. A little bit, but not as much, because Chad's lawyer actually referred to her as Mrs. Vallow. All right, ready? Look at this. Oh, my God. I just, oh. Mm-mm.
Love you from my heart. Thank you.
Oh. Look at him. Oh my God. Look at him, you guys. This is JJ as a baby. I'm glad we watched some of this because it's important. This. Oh, God. Let me stop for a minute. Oh, look at him. So they changed his name. It was... man, I can't see it because of the title now. I'm going to mute this, actually, if it's going to play. That is one of my all-time favorite songs. That version of Somewhere Over the Rainbow with the ukuleles and stuff. It reminds me of summer. Canon Todd Trahan. Look at him. Yeah, it's still on. I don't want to get a strike for that. Let's just look at some of the pictures, though, too. What a beautiful child. That's his dog. This dog here, JJ loved his dog, and it was, what do you call those? Like, it was for his autism and stuff like that. And, you know, Lori got rid of the dog a month before everything happened, or at least around August, and everything happened, we know, at the end of September. So it's just so cruel. I know, Maria. I'm sorry. It's so sad. Corinne, yeah, this is JJ. Yeah. It seems like there's something to the name change, some kind of distance or something they put between the child and them. I agree. I totally agree, Ava. JJ. Oh, look, there's K, JJ. For JJ and Tylee. Oh, look. There's Tylee. She looks like Colby there. Look at him, you guys. Oh, my God almighty. This was outside of the house. This is where they were found, on Chad's property, like right on the, on the other side of the fence. I feel broken, like I'm half of a whole heart. Oh, my God almighty. Some of them, you can't really see everything. The quality is not very, I don't know, for me anyways. Let's see if the music's done. No. Oh, look at her pretty little jewelry. Look at Tylee and her friends. That friend's actually come forward and spoken out about Tylee and stuff. That was a friend she had when she lived in Hawaii. Oh my God, look at Tylee here. Hold on. That's her friend from Hawaii as well. Look at her. Oh. Look, oh my God. Lori, you are awful. You are awful. Little JJ. Oh gosh, you guys. It is so sad. Hey, Maurice. So Ashley Banfield says that she talked to, she actually has the audio from the hearing about all of this, which we won't listen to it. It's about 20 minutes long. But Ashley Banfield did talk to Kay and Larry yesterday. They were very upset, which I don't blame them. Okay, now I do want to switch gears. We can continue to talk, like if anything comes up in chat or whatever about Lori in the upcoming trial or whatever. But I want to show you guys something. Then I want to talk about some Bryan Kohberger stuff. Let's see. But first, so remember that train wreck that recently happened in Ohio? Last night I saw this. And now I'm really beginning to get like Melissa and get my 10-foot foil hat on. A barge broke carrying methanol in the Ohio River, and tons of methanol. Also, there was grains and crops on the barge. A late-night collision on the Ohio River in Louisville, Kentucky, resulted in numerous barges breaking free of the vessel tugging them, including one carrying 1,400 metric tons of methanol. The navigation accident occurred at roughly 2 a.m. on Tuesday at the lock chambers and the McAlpin Locks and Dam, which sits in the Ohio River, according to the U.S. Army. The vessel, which was towing 11 barges carrying various other products, including soy and corn, had collided with what Louisville Metro Emergency described as a stationary structure at the entrance to the Portland Canal. No injuries were reported, but when the vessel hit the structure, 10 of the 11 barges broke loose. Of those, the Corps said 3 ended up being pinned against the lower part of the dam, and 1 was piered against the Indiana Bridge Pier. The barge carrying the methanol was lodged at the dam and, according to the Kentucky Energy and Environment Cabinet, was, quote, partially submerged, unquote. Another in Minnesota? What? Hey, Catalina. Thank you for coming by here. And I know it's quite sad. Hey, Lucia, you're original from Kentucky. In Minnesota, I need to know about that. I don't know what's going on, but it's really okay. Brooks near Minnesota one. It's scary, you guys, because a lot of our crops, I don't know. I don't want to be poisoned with chemicals and stuff like that. I don't want the water poisoned. I think about it, and this river, we swim in the ocean, but we're in the Sound, so we're right where all the rivers meet the ocean. It's scary. Malicious, hateful, cruel, violent, disrespectful, toxic. I have more. Oh, will be. She is an absolute monster. Yeah, you should ask him, Nay. Okay, so now we're going to go over to Twitter, okay? And we're going to talk about this stuff with Bryan Kohberger that has recently been kind of released. And I want to hear what you guys think about this because it is a little concerning. So we'll start actually right here where Jennifer Coffindaffer, she says, below is an excerpt from the Bryan Kohberger PCA about the sheath or DNA. No mention of any lab but the Idaho State Police Lab. Also below is a link to where the rumor originated. The affidavit is the bedrock of facts known to public. So there was there's a big story yesterday going around that DNA was not found at the Idaho State Police Lab, and they had to send it to a lab in Texas where it was Bryan's DNA was recovered from this sheath. I'm not even sure if it's accurate. But let's see if she put anything else about it because I do want to see. Per the rumor, the sheath left during the Idaho 4 murders was tested at the Idaho State Police Lab and DNA wasn't found. Thus, law enforcement sent the sheath to a private lab where Bryan Kohberger's DNA was found. All labs or scientists are not created equal. If true, the defense will exploit. So people are concerned, that the defense will use this. Long-awaited court documents. Who did this video? Let's click on it and see. News Nation. All right, we'll listen to this just to see what they have to say. I thought it was about the sheath, but... Oh, no. Okay, we're not going to... That's about the officer, the misconduct. Now, let me show you what Bryan Enton put. And I'm going to show you Sleuthy because she had a few things on there that I thought were kind of interesting. You guys are going to die when you see the replies to Bryan, one of his freaking tweets. Okay. Aw. Just a moment. We got it. Trent, I'd like to talk about that as well, but busy day. After new Bryan Kohberger court docs showed police internal affairs investigation could be an issue, now another possible complication for the prosecution involving the knife sheath. We'll discuss when I fill in for Dan Abrams. Okay, so let's try to find that video because I'd like to watch that. But look right underneath. It is sad. I don't know what is going on, but I have a funny feeling it has to do with Dylan Mortensen. I think we will find out if it doesn't prejudice this case, but was preventative in nature. At least that is my hope. Why are you tying Dylan to this? That doesn't help. Stop doing this to victims of crimes. This is disgusting. I'm sorry. Dylan has nothing to do with the knife sheath being tested at a different lab than Idaho State Police lab. That is outrageous to me. But let me grab News Nation. We're going to try to find that video because I want to see what Bryan Kohberger or Bryan Ensign said about it. I'm not convinced that it's accurate or true information, but maybe I will be. Okay, so now we're on News Nation. It was from last night. Narcan is now available over the counter. That's really awesome. And that's exciting. Oh my gosh. There was actually the video I was telling you guys about with where Ashley Banfield talks about speaking to JJ's grandparents. We might click on that in a second. Let me try to get through. Here it is.
At 1122 King Road, up on Maddie Mogan's bed beside the bodies of Maddie Mogan and Kaylee Gonzalez. That knife sheath that was left behind with the trace DNA apparently sent out of state to a startup in order to process. Don't know if that means the lab in Idaho, the state lab wasn't good enough, but that's where it went to identify. All I can think of is the defense attorney saying, wait, the state of Idaho you couldn't do the job of finding any DNA on that knife sheath? You had to send it, outsource it? Does that mean that's going to be litigated and fought and contested and diminished by a defense attorney at trial?
Absolutely, because again, defense attorneys look wherever they can find to find a potential of reasonable doubt. And when there is a test, either that they have to do unique, they have to go out of state, they have to do it a second or third time, or it's inconclusive. Those are little items, little catchphrases that defense attorneys use to see if there's
defense is going to use anything they can. We're going to watch. Here's the video Bryan Ensign did, but let me talk to you guys for a moment in chat. Let me see. I want to say hi to Brandy because I saw you. And then sunset gazing. That sounds really like a great day listening, but outside planting seeds and seedlings. So it takes a minute to clean hands. You guys, I got a cactus today. It is so beautiful. It's like got these bright orange flowers on it. And as soon as I took it out of the store, like only 2 were opened, and now like 10 of them are open, but they are so pretty. Super Mars. It might be sent, hey humanimal, to an MVAC lab. Well, you know what? It seems that Jennifer Coffindaffer doesn't believe that it's actually even an accurate report, and we're going to go look because she linked where she believes it came from. And Tiff, I agree. Tiff says, let me read it because I read it while it was playing. I tell you what, is the state don't tighten up on this case, and I pray they have more DNA than we do now, or Kohberger walks. Sorry, sad but facts. And I think they have more, but I think that they better. But I do think they do. I'm hopeful that out of his vehicle that they would find some substantial evidence. They took everything out. And surely to God, he couldn't have gotten that vehicle and driven home without getting any blood anywhere. Hey, Punksy. MVAC, bring the process that vacuums up really minuscule amounts of DNA for processing. Okay. They'd be damned if they do, damned if they don't. Defense is going to eat this lab shit up. Yeah, I agree. If it's true, let's hear Bryan, and then we're going to go find the original source of this, which is Reddit. Sorry, but that is not really a credible, just let me stop.
New questions about the knife sheath and where it was sent to be tested. My next guest has new information on that. Joining us now is journalist and best-selling author Howard Bloom, who has worked for the New York Times and Vanity Fair. He is currently writing a book about Bryan Kohberger and covering the case for Air Mail News. Thank you so much for coming on, Howard. I'm a big fan of your recent articles on the case.
Now, if you guys remember, just quickly, I'm not going to pause a ton, but I want to say, we read through all of the airmail articles. Those were those articles that it was very big words. It was kind of hard to even process. It was almost like it was too much, like overuse of, I don't know. Some of them had some new information. He went to the town and talked to people and all kinds of stuff. He did a lot of investigative journalism. And he's writing a book. But that's who this guy is. The airmail articles that we all went through come from him.
The case. Appreciate you taking the time tonight. I want to talk about the testing of this knife sheath.
You pointed out earlier, the police were all along moving forward, even though we in the media, the public didn't know what was happening. And they were focusing on Bryan Kohberger, but they couldn't completely make the case so they could issue an arrest warrant. What they did is they had the knife sheath, and they had on the button of the knife sheath, they had touch DNA, and they had no way to tie that to Kohberger. And the Idaho lab came up with this idea of using a separate lab in Texas. This lab had specialized in proprietary devices that made what is called kinship DNA. You could figure out a relative of the.
All right, so I was coming outside to smoke a cigarette as we're watching this, and I missed it. Did he say where he got this information? A lot of unnecessary words. Absolutely, RJ. Yeah, it was creepy, which is why he keeps saying he's going to be exonerated rather than found not guilty. On top of that, he hasn't even pled yet. This boy knows what he's doing. Interesting, Tiff. He definitely, he knows what he's doing, or he thinks he does at the very least, for sure. I definitely agree with that.
Of the DNA that you already had. And this lab was set up to investigate unsolved murders. It was backed by some Silicon Valley venture capitalists. It was a never before used in a present case, just only in cold cases.
So let me just interrupt you. Sorry to interrupt you, but you're saying this lab that they sent the knife sheath to has never been used before except in cold cases?
Yes, this was the first time they were willing to take a chance. They wanted desperately to make an arrest. They wanted desperately to tie the suspect to this knife sheath. So meanwhile, in Pennsylvania, they had that midnight garbage run.
Right.
They picked up garbage that was the father's DNA. They could then send that to the lab, tie it to the knife sheath, and they could make this kinship. And now they could say within 0.99.9% positive.
Right. I just want to zero in, Howard, on this Texas lab, because this is new information that you've reported that I didn't know until you reported it.
So I tried to find before this live, because you guys know I'm big about sources. I want to know where you got this. I want to know where that person got it, and I want to be able to follow the trail myself. So I went to Airmail, didn't find new articles. I searched Howard Bloom, didn't find any new articles. I searched Howard Bloom, Idaho, and did not find any new articles, but that was on my phone. So we can try again, but I surely hope that they say where this is at.
When you say never before done technology that they're using, that it's only been used on cold cases, I mean, couldn't this be an issue for the prosecution. This seems like something the defense could really zero in on. Why did the knife sheath get sent to this lab that has never done this kind of work
I don't
before?
think so. I actually think it will reinforce the prosecution's case. This lab is very respectable. Their cases, their evidence has been, the methodology has been held up in court time after time. And I think this reinforces the prosecution's case. I don't think it will be, it's not a positive for Kohberger.
Let me ask you, because
Okay, that's quite interesting. He doesn't think it's a positive for Kohberger.
Story at the Idaho Crime Lab looked very advanced. It was our understanding at the time that they were the ones doing all of the testing. Why would they need to send it to Texas?
They did not have the DNA that could prove kinship, relationship. And only this lab in Texas had this proprietary mechanism to do this. In fact, way before the Kohberger, the case, the state of Idaho had made.
It's funny that they have this person on that's given them this information, Howard Bloom, right? And they ask him, do you think this is going to be good for the defense? No, I think this is going to be good for the prosecution. But look on the screen, where knife sheath was tested may help Bryan Kohberger's defense. They want us to be outraged, emotional, and clicking everything they say.
Signed a contract with this lab in case something came up in a cold case to use this lab's facilities. And now they came up with the idea, I don't know whose idea it was in Idaho, but let's send it to this lab to get what we needed. Therefore, they had the garbage run in Pennsylvania, where the state police in Pennsylvania were able to get DNA from Kohberger's father. They were able to tie that to the lab.
I mean, don't forget, you guys, because it makes me nervous too, but then I got to remember, they arrested him and he was standing in the kitchen in his underwear, bagging up his own trash, separating it from his parents' trash, wearing gloves. They've got his computer, his phone. They've got the panels off of his car, his seat belts, his car seat covers, the pedals. I mean, they have a lot that we don't even know the results yet of the testing that they've done on it. So we just have to remember that. I know, Humanimal, I feel the same way. That's News Nation for you, and sadly has diminished Bryan Inton 2 by association, because he's great. I do think he does a great job, but
lab into the knife sheath, and that's how they solved to their.
Okay, I think I found the source, you guys. Thank God for Jennifer Coffindaffer, who understands why it's important when reporting that we list sources and things like that. It bothers me so bad when people don't tell where they find information. Did you find it in a YouTube chat from some stranger? Did you find it on Reddit? Did you find it in a police, in some kind of police report? Or, I mean, it just... Yeah, that's perfectly normal, Alex. Standing in the kitchen naked, sorting through trash. I think this is just another red herring like all the others. They throw all this misinformation about to hide the real info. I agree, Maurice. And Punksy says, I've seen channels defending him. I don't understand that either. But Jennifer Coffindaffer, she did this an hour ago. It says, Below is an expert from the PCA about the sheath. We went through this in the beginning, but we didn't click the link. Below is the link where the rumor originated. The affidavit is the bedrock facts known to the public. So in this excerpt, in this excerpt, that's a hard word. It says, on December 27th, 2022, Pennsylvania agents recovered the trash from the Kohberger family residence. That evidence was sent to the Idaho State Lab for testing. On December 28th, the Idaho State Lab reported that a DNA profile obtained from the trash and the DNA profile obtained from the sheath identified a male as not being excluded. So they did not actually say, though, if the sheath was tested at the Idaho State Lab. But then she links the original source. So here's the Reddit. Oh, Howard Bloom long interview with Megyn Kelly. Huh, okay. It's an hour and 25 minutes.
Hey everyone, I'm Megan Kelly. Welcome to
Holy.
the
And I know she probably strikes, but we'll flip through and just try to listen to a couple seconds here and there.
What's amazing about your reporting is it always includes new information, shocking new information in some cases, but it is so beautifully written. You're open about where you're speculating, but your speculation is based on a very
I find his writing to be, yeah, it's well written, but it's confusing to the average reader, and it really takes away from the story, in my opinion. But
informed opinion, and your writing is just absolutely gorgeous. So thank you for these pieces.
Well, that's very
Hey,
kind
Greg.
of you to say.
Thank
I'm
you.
flattered coming from you, so thank you very much.
I
There's
appreciate
nothing
that.
a writer likes to hear than praise.
Absolutely right. You're just like anybody
Only my
else.
kids will remember that.
Well, just play a big obstacle. You want to get away with it. You're determined to stay.
Defense attorney can punch a lot of holes in them.
That's fascinating.
Wait, let's see. I'm going to link this so you guys can
Let me start
watch
with,
the
do you
full thing.
believe, based on your reporting, police have the right man?
I believe they have the right man. I also believe that they have, at this point, a very dubious case in court. I don't think it's going to be as easy as we all assume to make the case again. I'm very
Who
much
assumed it was going to be easy? Because all I've seen is people doubting from the beginning. Hey, MK. Let's see. Gray Ranch, your physical beauty is incredible, but oh, thank you. That's very sweet. I appreciate that so much. It's pompous, in my opinion, his writing. Yeah, I agree. It is. And it just, I don't know. It's hard to take in a lot of it when they try to, yeah, pompous is just the perfect word for it. Let's see where my window went. There's the interview, but we still are going to flip around just a little bit in here.
very much looking forward to finding out just how much new evidence the police are getting. But at this point, what they have is what we call in legal terms, bad facts. They might sound good to a prosecutor, but a defense attorney holds them.
That's because
It seems like this may be the area where he gets into the sheath. Let's get forward.
Think twice about sending a man to what is in Idaho at this point, an execution chamber. They've set up a special room in the West. And that sounds like an ad for a motel, not for a institution of higher learning. But that's sort of the atmosphere, at least.
Amazingly, despite the fact that the house was so well located and surrounded by other homes, it's not like this was a remote area. Nobody noticed anything while the murders were taking place overnight, of November 13th. I believe it happened around 4 a.m. Nobody noticed anything, even though there were college students who were up and about and had been partying. Oh no, I appreciate color because, yeah, like a lot of.
All right, we're going to look in the comments for a minute. For someone who has allegedly been knee-deep in this case, he can't even pronounce Moscow correctly. Tisk tisk. It's Moscow, right? People from Idaho say it that way. No, it's Moscow. A Glock revolver, huh? Please, let's not give this guy any attention. It was a terrible interview. He's very arrogant and dismissive of all of the work and evidence. He's like, they have the right guy, but not enough and good evidence to prove it. How does he know? Also, is he crazy? Just the car, the knife sheath, and him arrested separating his trash while wearing latex gloves at 1 a.m. is more than enough circumstantial evidence to convict him. And they have way more than just that. This guy just wants to get people paying to read his airmail articles on the case, so he's hoping it won't get resolved through a plea bargain. Well, he's writing a book as well. Some of the details he included in his articles were wrong. Basic stuff like Murphy's name. I wouldn't look to him for accuracy. So glad I read the comments before watching this. I'm not even going to bother now. So yeah, anything that comes from this, I wouldn't be I'm not up in arms about. I think, you know, let me find you guys. I lost the window with StreamYard. There it is. I don't have any mods right now, Gray Wrench mod. But hey, Valerie. Hey, Jan. Considering he isn't privy to any of the deep info and evidence, that's a big call to not support the prosecution. He just wants to be important. He writes in Oxford English. Actually, not pompous. It's Old English with no slang. I don't know. I kind of think of it as, I don't know. To me, it's just, I understand why some people would like it, but I also could see why some people don't. Yeah, I definitely don't have an OnlyFans. I'm not planning on getting one either. But Lord have mercy. All right, let's see. I think now we're going to go do some looking at cases that aren't as popular. I think that we've spent enough time kind of discussing the Sheath and that kind of thing, but I like to do these true crime news shows and always try to bring a few things that aren't being talked about as much up. So let me share this tab. I'm not supporting him or his theories. Oh, yeah, that's okay, Maurice. Even if you support his theories, love his writing style, I still appreciate all of your opinions, and you know what I mean? So that's okay. Ex-bachelorette contested busted on... Oh, my God. Florida principal leaves granddaughter... Oh, my God. To die in a hot car. Months later, infant grandson... Okay, we're going to look at this one. My mom just bought me these shoes right here. That's so weird that we now have an ad for them, and my mom just bought me those. And once again, Google showing how much they love to spy. Look at these babies, you guys. See, I don't want to waste too much time. And, you know, some people might leave. That's okay. I want to talk about other things besides, you know, just the biggest cases. I love to talk about those too if I'm interested, but... Okay. Florida principal leaves granddaughter to die in a hot car months after infant grandson drowns in her care. Look how beautiful both of them are. And also, holy hell, I would be furious. A former Florida school principal is facing charges after a second grandchild died while in her care, police say. According to ABC Action News, 65-year-old Tracy Nix is facing aggravated manslaughter charges after her 11-month-old granddaughter was found deceased in a hot vehicle November 1st, 2022. The incident happened at Nick's home, where temperatures reached 90 degrees. A Hardy County Sheriff's Office complaint affidavit indicated Nix was practicing piano while Ariel passed away inside a Lexus SUV, parked in the front yard with its windows rolled up. When one of Nix's grandsons arrived, she claimed she all of a sudden realized the infant was still in the vehicle. The defendant's husband, Nunne Nix, retrieved Ariel from the vehicle and began CPR. Nix was babysitting Ariel on the day in question while the baby's mother was out getting her hair done. Ariel's parents, Kayla and Drew, spoke to ABC Action News following the incident. Oh, my God. The West trial, I was trying to keep up with that a little bit. I've been listening on and off, but not today. I guess I'll just try to catch some of the updates for that. And that it actually just happened twice in our lifetime, Drew said. Ariel's 1-year-old brother, Ezra, was in Nix's care 3 days before Christmas when he drowned in a nearby pond. Kayla said she rushed to Nix's home after Drew got a call that something happened to her son. I could see the helicopter landing, Kayla said. I didn't look when there was a stop sign, adding that she was driving so fast to the scene, she got into a head-on collision with another driver. All of my airbags went off. I don't remember how I got out, but I got out and started running to my parents' house. And at this point, I don't have shoes. I'm just running. That was my desperation to get my son. Kayla said she never looked at the incident report on the boy's death after investigators withheld information from me per my request, per my doctor's advice, that any information would work me up or make me emotionally distressful, and it would be harmful to my unborn child. I was told unless I believed that my mom held my son's head under the water and intentionally killed him, there is nothing else they can do about his death. She was pregnant with Ariel at the time. She only knew that Nick said she fell asleep and Ezra wandered into the pond. The incident report states that Nick said she was on a sofa while her husband was rocking Ezra in the recliner. Mr. Nick said the baby fell asleep on the recliner, and he left the child with his wife, who was awake on the sofa, to go run errands. Tracy Nix later told police she drifted off to sleep unintentionally and Ezra wandered away. She said she woke up and drove around trying to find her grandson and located him in a large pond stuck with docks on the west side of the property. Kayla didn't trust Tracy at all after the incident, but eventually decided she loved her mom and wanted her to be a part of her daughter's life. We were anxious, but I loved my mother, and I am a daughter that wanted her mom in her life in some capacity. And in that moment, I thought I could believe in second chances. The second chance involved the defendant watching Ariel while supervised, which didn't produce any red flags. Then, Kayla decided to allow her mother to babysit Ariel. Within hours, police arrived to tell her that Ariel was dead. You couldn't fathom it happening twice, Drew said. Somebody has to answer for that. Tracy could face 12 to 30 years in prison if convicted. Because somebody dies doesn't necessarily mean that somebody has to pay, Nix's lawyer, William Fletcher, said. This obviously was an accident, and the question was, is it culpable negligence? Oh, my dear God, you guys, I gotta watch this. Amber. Hey, by the way.
Wauchula, Florida. A small town along Main Street in Hardy County. Population.
Wow, Ava.
Less than 5,000. Kayla Nix and Drew Schock grew up here and reconnected 5 years ago after what began as a high school friendship. They soon decided to have kids.
Ariel and her
children.
Belly, Asher. Okay, so they have an older son. And then Ezra. Oh my God almighty. This is devastating.
Where they had roots.
This was the plan. We were going to have 3 kids. And that, you know what I mean? That was our goal.
My mom was a principal.
Kayla's mom, Tracy Nix, now at the center of their family's story.
Here we are.
A story they're here to share.
Oh my God. David, yes it is. Blind, I'm making sure she knows I'll be upset. Well, I appreciate your compliments. I am not interested in anything but friendship, but I appreciate you being here and welcome, friendship from any of you guys. Oh my God, I better take my smoke break before I lose it. Yeah, I don't even know what I would do. I would be let's hear what they say.
It's really difficult to know that my mom is the one, that broke his heart. My mom.
According to the complaint affidavit on November 1st, 2022, Kayla was going to get her hair done and asked her mom to babysit. Tracy met friends for lunch, drove home, and forgot her granddaughter in the back seat of her 2019 Lexus with the windows rolled up.
I never understood how people forget their kids. Now, look, I can see some people, I've heard of stories of I'm on the way to work and I forgot to drop the kid off at daycare because they usually don't have them. They're asleep in the car. I get out of the car and go into work like usual, not even thinking. That almost kind of makes a little bit of sense to me if you're in a rush and you have a habit and this is a different day. I still don't get it. I don't understand. And, yeah, I just don't understand. Let me see. Okay, one sec, you guys. I don't understand how people do it. We'll pull in their driveway, roll up all the windows, and go in the damn house.
She went inside, talked to her dog, and practiced the piano. When one of her grandsons arrived, all of a sudden it came across her head.
I'm sorry.
Uriel
I'm removing
was in
that
the back
person.
seat all afternoon.
I appreciate
Her
the
husband
kindness, but don't be
immediately
mean to my
began
friends.
CPR. Temperatures in Wauchula that day reached 90 degrees. Uriel died. She was 7
Look
months
at
old.
her, you guys. What a doll baby. 7 months old. Oh my God. Yeah, don't be rude to Nay. Nay is my girl. If you be, I can't have you here. I'm sorry.
To think of the last moments of her life as a mother is gut-wrenching.
A little girl.
Hey, Kokomo.
How do you forget a little girl?
Oh God.
After identifying his daughter at the hospital, Drew remembers.
We're out in the parking lot just trying to grasp out what just happened. And that it actually just happened twice in our lifetime.
Twice in less than a year.
Less than a year? I guess I didn't catch that at first. Hey, Mr. Tomato Head. It is heartbreaking, Callie Dime. You guys, this is ripping my heart out. Oh my God, these poor parents. Well, he was being a little disrespectful to me, but especially messing with you guys, I don't like. You know, I could go on if I was her. I couldn't either, Amber. But she has a third child. So I think, like, in those situations, you have to. Because, like, when Rena came on to Real Talk the other night, she was talking about losing her son. And she was saying, basically, some days I don't know how to function, but I have other kids, so I have to. And I think that's a lot of parents, like, saving grace and their other babies, get them through.
16-month-old Ezra, Uriel's brother, also died while under his grandmother Tracy's care.
911, where is your emergency?
There's a little baby. The grandmother's out giving him CP. Is he breathing? No.
Okay, it was a pond?
Yeah.
So this is the pond. And how did she see him in there? How did she drove around and what? Because, and this is graphic, I'm sorry, but when a person drowns, doesn't it take a little bit of time before they float? Not like few minutes?
And then for how long the child was on?
No.
Drew first call 3 days before Christmas 2021.
He goes, something happened, Ed. And that's when I just called Kayla. And she goes, what? And I said, I don't know. I'm heading there now.
I could see the helicopter
Oh
landing.
my God.
And I didn't look when there was a stop sign. I was in a full head-on collision. And I was going 85 miles an hour in that case, 6 months pregnant. But I got out. I started running to my parents' house. And at this point, I don't have shoes. I'm just that.
Yeah, there is a third baby. I'll show you guys in just a sec.
Was my desperation to get to my son.
Oh my God.
Kayla says her doctor told her she needed to make a choice.
They withheld information from me. Any information that made me up or make me emotionally stressful would be helpful to my unborn child.
Well, no, that's Ezra.
I loved him. That she was a real life and she was coming, and it would be wrong to me to lose it over him and hurt her and take her.
Kayla and Drew had never seen the incident report, telling how Ezra drowned in a nearby pond the afternoon his grandmother fell asleep. In the report, the detective wrote, a complaint affidavit for child neglect will be forwarded to the state attorney's office.
Wow, for good. She should have went to jail for that. I'm sorry. That's what I'm wondering, Humanimal. Some sort of terrible Munchausen by proxy, because I live by the water. You guys know that. And I have little kids, not that little, but I mean, I'm telling you, we don't let them out of our sight in the front yard or in the yard at all because we're so close to the water. Bentley can stand up in there, but it doesn't matter. If they fall in or some kind of accident happens, oh God. I think it was 2 horrible accidents. Wow. Do you still need to pay for it, even if it was?
Office for further review.
I didn't know that they had ever attempted to file charges.
Kayla says she will never forget what.
Of course. I wish it did like YouTube so I could show you guys
He met friends for lunch, dated
the other baby.
Here we are.
That's
our goal.
My mom.
Friendship. They soon decided
So
to
here
have
we
kids.
have Uriel was in her tummy. Asher is in between their legs, and dad's holding Ezra. And so it was Ezra and Uriel. Asher, I would assume, is still with him and he's okay, but I'm scared to live by the water. Yeah, passed out. Is she taking some kind of, I don't know. I'm with you, Jade. It doesn't matter if it's an accident. They still need to pay. Oh, okay. We're going to go back and try to look at 1 or 2 more cases. So I'm not going to keep watching that video. It's having issues anyway, loading, which is quite annoying, but oh, I didn't hear about that. Hero Nashville girl 9 dies while pulling the fire alarm during the Christian school shooting. Oh, now this is interesting. Look at him. He's got some pretty eyes. Cops told Rasheem Carter they're not a taxi service. A month later, he's found dismembered in the woods. A Mississippi man who was found dead last year under suspicious circumstances. I lost my place. Reportedly asked police for help twice, but was turned away before disappearing. Ben Crump, he does a lot of, what do you call that? Like racial issues and stuff. He's a big-time attorney. Ben Crump, who is representing Rasheem Carter's family, alleged in an article that Carter went to the police department twice about a group of white men following him in pickup trucks. Crump wrote that Carter, who filed a police report, asked police for a ride to his hotel because he was scared, but they declined and told him they are not a taxi service. Following the second visit to the police, Carter called his mother and told her his battery was low. Crump said that Carter pinned his location so a friend who lived nearby could pick him up, but he was nowhere to be found when the friend went to the location hours later. On November 2nd, a month to the day he went missing, his skeletal remains were found dismembered and scattered in the woods just a few miles from the police department, where he twice sought help. His skull was severed in half. Despite those disturbing facts, police have continued to claim that no foul play is suspected. Oh, good God Almighty. He was a welder. He was reportedly last seen at a hotel in Laurel. He was completing a contracting gig about 100 hours from home when he passed away. He had a short-term job which ended because he got in an argument with the work site at the work site, which led Carter to fear for his life. At some point, Carter allegedly texted his mother about not seeing eye to eye with the business owner. Trail cameras apparently showed Carter shirtless in the woods on the day he vanished. Detectives reportedly showed Carter's family the image a week before his body was found last year. They do not show anyone other than Carter. In addition to his head being severed from his body, Crump alleged the state crime lab gave the family a box containing his head and spinal cord. Carter's family also claimed that some of his front teeth were missing, suggesting an assault had occurred. While Crump said Carter's remains were found in different locations, officials attribute it to animals. Oh my God. Mother Jones reported that Carter's family worked with a private investigator who determined that Carter's severed, decomposing penis was in his mouth, and his bones were broken and cut cleanly in a manner inconsistent with an animal attack. Oh my God. Earlier this month, the Mississippi Bureau of Investigation said they cannot determine the cause of death. The department also fielded tips to gain more information. Smith County Police reached out to the Mississippi Bureau in November. However, a day after his remains were discovered, the Smith County Police publicly announced they have no reason to believe foul play was involved. It is as clear as day that Mississippi either isn't capable or more likely is unwilling to investigate when a black man is brutally killed or dies from unnatural causes like being decapitated and having his skull sliced in half. This is unbelievable. Missing teeth. Oh my God. But, Callie Dime, if an animal gets you, usually your bones won't be like cleanly cut. Hey, Mystic. Racist. I agree with you, Jaded. It is real and it is wrong. Yeah, he scattered himself in the woods. Oh, yeah, civil rights. Thank you, Callie Dime. That's right. That's the word I was looking for, you guys. Yep, they don't care if you're African American. It's sad. Some people don't, but thought about that time a dude was fighting a 15-year-old little girl. One of my brothers knocked his tooth out. He was on the ground shaking. Okay, so I wanted to look at this while we're here. Did you guys see anything about this? This is about the Nashville shooter, but it says Nashville shooter possibly targeted pastor's daughter after private counseling sessions. Oops, I did not mean to do that. I accidentally grabbed that Nancy Grace link. Okay. The former pastor at a Nashville Christian school where 3 people were killed Monday says the shooter was having counseling sessions with the father of one of the victims. Jim Bachman said 28-year-old shooter Audrey Hale appeared to be searching for Chad Scruggs, who had been reportedly providing private counseling sessions to Hale before the incident. What I'm hearing, he was providing counseling and something didn't set right with her. If Hale found Chad and tried to kill him, I don't know if Hale would have left his daughter alone. She bought guns and ammunition, broke into the side door at 10:13 a.m. on Monday. Nashville police responded like heroes in 14 minutes. I'm telling you, they ran. The video is so powerful. If you followed Uvalde and you watched all those police officers stand out there and listen to these kids being shot, all these little babies over and over, and they stood there for like 40 minutes. You see these officers, it is a totally different story. They ran straight for the gunfire. I mean, it was incredible to see. I'm following this. I cried last night about this. Oh my God. I have been following this one. Haven't heard about this. I thought the shooter only went to that school because their first choice was too hard to break into. Hey, crazy mama. Well, it looks like there may be something more to it. I seriously think they need to train these investigators better. It's like they just want to close cases. Stephen Smith was a hit and run because he was in the street. Really? We're going to talk about that one tomorrow. Yeah, I got it, Tiff. Oh God, yeah, it is a little much. And he said he was mean to Nay. It pissed me off. Oh my God, Corinne. Yep, absolute cowards. Officer Muke and Rex were so great. The whole team was impressive. So what was his last name? Chad Scruggs, and the first victim is Haley Scruggs. Remembers her as a happy child who liked to play kickball with the boys. This is so awful. Left to right. Lower. Evelyn, William, and Haley. So this is the pastor's daughter. That is sick. That is absolutely sick. A video released by police shows Hale driving into the school parking lot, then blasting open a side door before roaming abandoned hallways and entering an unlocked office and other doors. Rex Engelbert and Michael Colazzo. They heard shots coming from the second level. They immediately went to the gunfire. When the officers got to the second level, they saw a shooter who was firing. They engaged her, and she was fatally shot by them. And if they would have done what they did in Uvalde, who knows how many victims there would be. I truly do believe that there would have been many, many more. And this probably was her motive. I mean, she specifically went and she killed 3 kids, and one of the 3 was a daughter of a pastor who was recently taking counseling from him. She texted her friend, "I'm going to die today." Oh my God. You guys, I just don't understand. I really don't. It's sickening, the shit that happens. So yeah, tomorrow TT's coming on. And we're going to do Stephen Smith. I'm really excited for that. And yeah, then I don't know. I have something really fun planned for Real Talk, but I'm going to keep it on the DL until everything's ironed out. And said it's going to be on the news. Wow. Some are saying she was looking for him, but he wasn't on site. All right, let's see. Maybe we should look at one more just to know what's going on. This Rasheem Carter, I want to make a video about just that. That is absolutely ridiculous. I mean, it wouldn't take me long. I could put together, this is that picture of him. Let's go back for just a moment. This is the picture of him shirtless on the game cam before he was dismembered. He begged for help because he knew that he was going to be attacked. Shame on those police officers. I am going to make a video on that. That makes me angry. See if there's any other little stories. Remains found in storage unit in October identified as Illinois police chief, former chief. Iowa teen charged with Spanish teacher's murder to testify against co-defendant. I remember when that happened. Where's Oakley? Mom arrested in North Carolina. Toddler still missing. When did this article come out? Haven't seen any news on that. Oh my God. Colorado octogenarian kills wife and adult daughter with an axe so they wouldn't be homeless. Let me take this link though really quick. Copy link. Since we're doing Stephen Smith tomorrow, I need to save it in here. I have a little chat going. Or I'm saving stuff. Okay. It's like, who can you turn to? Yep. That's awful. I mean, you'd think police. Hey, Delana. I had to mute so I could cough. I think I'm getting sick. Like I woke up this morning nauseous, but my head is hurting and my throat's hurting. And Bentley has bronchitis, so I won't be surprised. Hey, John. I'm late. Hello, everyone. I'm late. Beautiful weather here in New Orleans. That's awesome. It's really pretty today, too. Oh, Delana's at the hospital? No. I don't know. What is an octogenarian? Let's look that up. What is an maybe it'll say in the article, but genarian. Bam, chicky, wow, wow. Come on now. Man, the season of sickness. Jaded, I can't take it. I really can't. It drives me crazy. You're right, crazy mama. I should start taking that now. And elderberry or something. Thank you, Kelly Dime. But yeah, Bentley and my oldest son, his name is Trenton. Hey, Jordan. Both of them have been sick. It feels like nonstop. I'm so tired of it. Oh, an octogenarian is a person who is from 80 to 89 years old. What? Yeah, it makes sense. Octo, but genarian. So what am I? Like if you're in your 30s. Opposite of having been in existence for a long time. Young, youthful A person in between 80 and 89. Quadragenarian and other decade age names. Okay, we're going to look at this and then we're going to go. I'm not even showing y'all, but then we'll go back to, oh, yes, I was, to the article. How many of you guys are quadragenarians? I think that's in your 40s. Quadragenarian, 40s to 50s. You're not quite over the hill, as they say, but you're a quadragenarian. Quinquagenarian, that's 50s. Sexagenarian. Oh, there you go. Whoever's in here 60 to 69, you a sexagenarian. Wow. Then in the 70s, you're a septua. I don't even know how to say that. I'm not going to try. And then in your 80s, you're an octogenarian. And then in your 90s, you're a nonagenarian. So there y'all go. We learned something today. Quad, me here. B crumbs, my old ass. Y'all are funny. I love you guys. I drink peppermint tea when I start to feel sick. It helps me a lot. I love herbal tea. I got lots of it at my house. Maybe I'll try some peppermint. I have this lemon ginger tea that's supposed to be good when you first get sick. Yeah, would it be trigenarian, Brooke? Because that's me too. Nay, Delana had surgery yesterday. Oh my gosh. Delana, I hope you're doing okay. Ooh, no way, MK. I would love that because I like to get some, actually ordered some on Amazon because I wanted, what is it? Maluka honey. And I wanted it like strong enough. You know how they have the numbers when they're, like basically they have antibiotic properties. I just got some of that, but I'd love to have a local place. It's good for allergies and everything. What's late 30s? Maybe trigenarian. Yeah, the more you know. Okay, so back to our octogenarian. Wait, where did it go? Oh, hail to the nah. Hold on, let me find that. I'm invested now. I need to know what happened. There we go. Colorado octogenarian kills wife, adult daughter with axe so they wouldn't be homeless. An 81-year-old Colorado man has been arrested for the axe murders of his wife and adult daughter over the weekend. Reginald McLaren reportedly called police at 6 p.m. saying his wife and daughter, quote, had been murdered, unquote, and that he thought he knew the suspect who used a hammer. This 80-year-old man. Wow. Oh, well, I'm glad you're home now, Delana. I can't believe this. Yep, my daughter and my wife have been murdered, and I think I know the suspect by the way he used a hammer. I mean, what? Officers responded to McLaren's home and found the two victims, 70-year-old Bethany McLaren and 35-year-old Ruth Jennifer McLaren, inside large trash cans on the living room floor. Both victims had substantial injuries and showed no signs of life, the department said. Investigators determined that both victims were killed with an axe and that one had been dismembered with a saw. So why did he say a hammer? McLaren was arrested for murder. Division Chief Tracy Jones said he was cooperating and had confessed. We are trying to determine why he did what he did, describing the octogenarian as distraught during the investigation. The arrest affidavit gave a major clue. The document said McLaren told detectives he had recently lost a job where he worked with people who are homeless. He said because of the job loss, he wouldn't be able to pay the rent, so he killed his wife and daughter to keep them from being homeless. According to KUSA, McLaren said he planned the murders, recently buying the trash cans, axe, and saw he fully intended to use. He said he hit his wife and daughter in the head with the axe Saturday morning then struck them 2 more times before putting their bodies in the trash cans, which he said he could not lift when he tried to get them out of the apartment. The affidavit says that McLaren told detectives he had no regrets because he knows they're in a better place. Some of our detectives have been detectives for 20 years, and they describe this as one of the most gruesome crime scenes that they've ever been a part of. Our officers who responded obviously were taking their mental health into consideration and getting them all the help they need. I cannot believe that. That's just crazy to me. Yeah, I'm only 68, far from 70. There you go, John. Homeless and alive doesn't seem worse than dead. That's what I was thinking. Ooh, thank you, Crime Curious. Tracenarian. Like you didn't have faith that your daughter could go out and get a job. And I don't know, maybe there was some elderly, that's what I was thinking, Jordan. Some kind of little bit of dementia or whatever. Tracenarian. Yeah, it is weird the writer would use that word. The judge in my town put a 90-year-old in prison. Yeah, he gave him a permanent home. That's unbelievable. The shit that happens in this world, y'all. I don't know. Let's see. Let me go back to his picture. My God, how sad. Maybe he's from another place, a third world country. I don't even know. You know, maybe there's more to it. But the 90-year-old that was arrested said she hit someone on a bike and left the scene and went and colored her hair, and her car was painted. Oh my God. She went and colored her hair. Lord have mercy. She painted her car so she knew what she did. Sounds like Pops had dementia. Can creep up on us. Yes, Annie. You know, my Opa passed away. Both of my Oma and my Opa, so both my dad's parents, passed away from Alzheimer's. And when my Opa started getting sick, like 25 years ago, he started like sneaking and reading books and stuff on dementia. And when we moved out all their stuff, we saw that he knew it was happening to him. We had a family annihilator in our neighborhood. Oh my God, Brooke. Okay, so yes, Trent. I was actually planning on maybe doing like a full-on live just on that. But let me go to Twitter really fast because I want to show you. I did see a few things today. Now, I watched Crime Lines and Lies this morning who covered it, and I'm so thankful that she did, number one. But look here. So we're going to go to Brett Buffington's Twitter. I am pissed that no one has been arrested for what happened to this child. It is absolutely horrific. I didn't know that he's having panic attacks when he wakes up and stuff like that. It is awful. So they have to keep him like, you know, on a bunch of meds because he's so scared every time he wakes up, he starts freaking out. So hold on a minute. I'm going to, let me find, oh, good Lord. Crime Curious, because I want to, after we get through this Twitter, I want to end with your link again. I think this is important. It's something that I want to follow closely, and I know a lot of you guys are watching Gannon's case. Gannon's case touched me in ways that I've never been touched by a case, to the point where I'm crying just talking about it. Like, but there was something so weird, like when you cover a case or you follow a case where you can see your kids in it, or, you know, you see yourself, and I don't know, it's just, then you have the videos of him going out to the car, the videos of him crying. You have it's the defensive wounds on his hands. He was tortured. So Letitia goes to, she's about to have her day, and I can't wait. And Crime Curious is going to be there in person. So I'm dropping that link again. I want you guys to definitely go check that out if you're watching. My grandfather had to mission. He died of double pneumonia. He was 84 years old. I'm so sorry, Maria. Someone else said their grandmother passed away. Jordan, I'm sorry. It is the worst. Oh. Okay, that's how I feel about school shootings. Well, it's weird. I imagine my kids running. Oh my God. Well, I did that yesterday a little bit jaded because I was watching Melissa Joan Hart. So Sabrina the Teenage Witch lives in Nashville. And thank you, Kelly. But she lives in Nashville and her kids go to school like right down the road from this school. And they didn't have school that day. But she did. I think she might even teach or work at the school that they go to. And on the way to school, as everything was happening, she starts to see a group of kindergartners and their teacher coming through the woods trying to escape. And her husband get out and help her. And oh my God, when I heard that, Bentley's in kindergarten. And he's little, but he's really a big boy. He's like 98th percentile. There's some kids in there that are just so tiny yeah. And thank you again, Kelly Dime. I'm actually just a big old softie, but I have both sides of me, right? Like I get super soft and emotional, but I also have my my angry side that comes out. But okay. We're going to go back a little bit actually because he's been reporting on it all day. More than a week after the last attack, the police chief in Glenn County admitted that what happened to Trent wasn't hazing. He said that after I asked how it was ever considered that in the first place. I don't give a damn. I'm so sick of that term. Call it whatever you want. But it's torture. It truly was torture. Update on Georgia torture victim. Now, I watched this interview. A family friend of his who created the GoFundMe was on Bryan Enton's show. But here's the update. He is out of the ICU and beginning his physical and emotional recovery. We are identifying one of the teens in the torture photo based on a previous arrest. This 17-year-old who has an alcohol problem, okay? How you have an alcohol problem at 17 when you can't buy alcohol or, whatever. Police say they are committed to the investigation, but no arrest yet. Just now on St. Simon's All Island, we spotted GBI agents, Glenn County Police, and other emergency leadership walking into the St. Simon's Island casino building. It is just feet from where Saturday's rally at the pier is expected to happen. So I don't know what's going on there, but he says after what was a 40-minute meeting, they walked out, got in their cars, and left. He says the Glenn County Police Chief said officers had been to the home where the attacks happened 10 times since August. I filed a records request for every home on the street for an entire year. There were only 2 calls, a hang-up and a third party days after the latest attack. He said they told us 10 times in 7 months, but the records only showed 2 calls in a year. Huh. That's quite interesting. It's a nice house. So here's the request that they filed, and you can see in the messages there were no other calls for service for that street. Clarifying, they said there were 10 calls over the last 7 months where at least one of the attacks happened. Okay, let me see. I'm going to search Trent's name before we go. Then I got to go get my Trent from the baseball game. These stories, I know they are, Tony. You're so right. Tiffany, don't go to Amazon. Go to Delta. Hold on.
Trenton Laircamp, unconscious.
Go to, I'm going to put it in the chat. Nadie, Allie is a CBD and pot guru. Go to, I'm telling you, there's a better options than CBD. If you don't want something psychoactive, you should, I'm going to give you a website that's got all kinds of stuff. But there's something called CBN, which I know a lady who actually has a company where she makes Delta 8 gummies and vapes and stuff. And she said CBN is what CBD should have been. What people thought CBD would help so much, often people can't even tell they've taken it. CBN doesn't get you high, but it's supposed to be better for anxiety. But there's also Delta 8. So here's that website, and then I'll give you my email. Delta 8 is really good. It's much more mild. You don't get as paranoid. Delta 10 is also mild, and you get a little bit of energy. There's so many different cannabinoids. Here's my email. Let's see. Actually, I think I have it on a banner. Maybe. Yes. Here. It's on this banner. Just email me, Tiff. And thank you, Jaded. I'm glad that you guys are here to listen about it because, you know, I don't know. I just, like, you want to make content that people want to see. I know why people want to cover the big cases and stuff, but you also want to make content that, you know, that you want to make and you feel good about in your heart. Hold on one second. Trenton's bored at the game, so yeah, I gotta go. But let me see just what comes up on the latest right here, and then I'm gonna let you guys go. Here is the 17-year-old with the drinking problem. I think that's kind of just where we're at. Nobody's been arrested. The police are saying they're working on it. Trent's doing better. Yeah, and then I'll just keep you guys updated. I have anxiety, but I don't want any effects. So Cali Dime with Delta 8, you will get some effects. It's mild, but you still will get some. But not the same as like your regular THC, which is technically Delta 9. But yeah, that website I put in is the best. They do third-party testing. There's a point system. You can get discount codes. It's the most affordable, probably half the prices of the same items I've seen in stores. It's just really great. That's why I can't take CBD. It's psychoactivity. I'd be concerned about paranoia, edginess, or even psychosis being sparked. Well, a lot of people do Delta 8 because you don't get the paranoia and that kind of stuff. But look into CBN. It's really interesting. Thank you, Crime Curious. All right, you guys. I'm going to let you guys go. I got to go get my baby. He's bored at the ball game. So, I didn't know that, H-Doe. Yeah, you can buy it online, Jaded. The site I give you, they use a federal loophole. It's legal, I believe, in all 50 states. And because technically, if any cannabinoid is produced in a hemp plant instead of your typical marijuana plant, then it doesn't qualify. It's a loophole, but we could talk more about it sometime. Maybe I'll do an episode on Real Talk. I love you guys so much. I appreciate you. Thank you for being out. Oh, hey, LFT. Thank you for being here, hanging out with me, talking about some of this. I know it can get really dark, but it is what's going on in our world, and that's just the truth. Oh, no, Jaded. Okay, www.delta8resellers.com. You might have to type it in your bar. There are so many products. CBD, it doesn't have side effects, Kelly Dime. It doesn't have psychoactivity, and neither does CBN. All right, you guys, I love you all. Have a great day, and I'll see you tomorrow. We're going to talk Stephen Smith. So, yeah, thank you guys so much. Bye. I've returned. Shower me with rose petals. Modine, we're leaving. Bye. I'll see y'all tomorrow with TT.